All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Romantic versus Th000. This game taking place here on Twisted Meadows. So far, just casting a wide variety of games. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying it. As we take a look over here to the top right-hand side of the map, Romantic has spawned as the blue human player. Meanwhile, Th000 has spawned as the red night elf. Night Elf versus Human in this 1v1 matchup. Twisted Meadows, an oldie but goodie of a map that has a lot of spotting locations, a lot of creeps, and generally has high-level heroes for those very same reasons. Gonna go ahead and go into 6 times speed until we see what the hero choices are going to be. The Altar of Elders was delayed, so it looks like it will be a Tavern hero first. Meanwhile, we are also looking at that is also a delayed Altar of Kings. So are we looking at double Tavern heroes? It is going to be a Beastmaster from one side. So Th000 going for a Beastmaster instead of what I would have thought the Keeper of the Grove. Meanwhile, there is no, Archmage now getting added on this side. A rather unorthodox strategy, or perhaps a reactionary thinking that, you know what, I don't want an Archmage going up against a Keeper of the Grove, only to see that it is instead of a Beastmaster with Quill Beast. This does come as a little bit of a head-scratcher maneuver, as we are 3 minutes into this game now, almost, and no one has a level 2 hero, and both sides are just walking around just like I am, a bit confused or unaware of what's really going on across the map. Lone Footman looking to put in some pressure. We're going to see whack-a-mole here as the Footman taking a little bit of damage back once again. Archmage now out on the field, just now gets out at the 3-minute 15-second mark, a full minute later, or a full minute and 15 seconds later than I would have normally expected. Beastmaster out onto the field, perhaps going to try to put some pressure on some of those units. There is a Huntress out on the field as well. No tech to tier 2, and we are looking at a Tree of Life. Th000 perhaps playing this game similar to how Moon does with a bunch of expansions, and that is going to come as a bit of a shock. All right, here you go. Scout Tower quickly gonna get taken down right there. Let's take a look. Are the Quill Beasts going to be able to do enough damage? Those Quill Beasts with that very fast attack, forcing all of those militia back to the other side. Meanwhile, Huntresses are chasing down Footmen all across the map. Archmage picking up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest and a Forest Troll Berserker. Timing is all strange on this map, and I'm not sure what is really going on. All right, let's take a look back across over here. Quill Beast getting in some extra damage. This one Quill Beast perhaps should be trying to help its friend take down a Footman, as the Huntress is getting split across once more. Ancient of War in the center portion of the map. He most likely wanted to try and creep with that Ancient of War, but instead it's just sitting there producing units. Meanwhile, Romantic making its way out across the map, and it's going to try and shut down an expansion attempt off over here. All right, expansion attempt. Let's see where is it going to be spotted? Yes, it will. Water Elemental, there you go. Beastmaster and a whole bunch of other units coming in, trying to maximize all of that damage in just a moment. Huntress getting in a lot of damage, but very nice play by Romantic to make sure that the glaive bounce damage does not do very much. There's a detonation. There's some more detonations. There goes a Water Elemental. There goes the Footmen are going to get taken out. And who is actually going to win out in terms of losses? It looks as though Th000 is going to be able to finish off a Forest Troll Berserker with a long-distance run from that Huntress. Meanwhile, back down to that south side, Footman getting taken out. And we see that Romantic was able to stop the expansion, but at what cost? We see the Beastmaster almost already up to level 2 without any real creeping. Archmage barely on the board with any experience. He was able to get maybe a Huntress, as the Alchemist is now finally out on the field. A very fast tier 2 could be the saving grace for Romantic at this point, as he is now going into Rifle Casters. All right, Alchemist with Acid Bomb. Archmage now coming back across, going to go ahead and go after all of these, very, very easy creep camps. No real reason to try to creep them out, except for the fact that Well, Th000 has good map awareness with all of these sentinels across the board. Back down to the south side, Th000 also setting up a Tree of Life here. Ancient of War absorbing a lot of damage. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, getting in a bunch of heals, as well as the Ancient of War down to 183 hit points, absorbing a lot of damage, but it looks like it will be just fine. There goes the last Forest Troll. Beastmaster sitting at level 2. Wisp off over here could end up getting shot down by those riflemen. Instead, Alchemist is in that front position. True Shot Aura, as the Alchemist is in that front line hoping to absorb a lot of damage. That is a lot more damage than I think he wants to absorb right now. He wants to heal up more units again if possible, as the Alchemist is now down to 190 hit points. Huntress off over here still providing a lot of coverage. Alchemist healing, spraying all of these militia and remaining units as the Alchemist gets to level 2 armor. Armor very important on the Alchemist. And I say this because normally, if you take a look at the Archmage versus the Alchemist, their survivability is at level 3 goes heavily in favor of the Alchemist if each were at level 3. But because of the fact that the Alchemist has low armor and high hit points, the armor is actually much more effective for him since it reduces a percentage of damage, which is incredibly important. If you haven't seen my videos on Warcraft 3 armor, well, go ahead and watch that video. It does a good job of explaining what I mean by quote-unquote effective hit points. Tree of Ages now completed. You can take a look. Tree of Life now making its way across. It does have 7 armor, an additional 30% effective hit points for that Tree of Life, and is able to close in on that distance much more quickly. Tree of Life will be able to root itself, get an expansion up and running in no time flat, as Huntresses are still being added. Let's take a look back off to the north. Alchemist absorbing a 5 bit of damage here. Rock Golem gonna get taken out. Interesting choice to hire up a Forest Troll Berserker when you already have a Rifleman out. And by the looks of it, is the Berserker. The Berserker starts off a little bit better, but after some upgrades, the Riflemen do come out ahead. Let's take a look at the range. 500 compared to 400. Well, long range also does help that. Let's take a look. More Riflemen are still getting added. You can take a look. Water Elemental off over here as it is trying to entangle that gold mine. It has started to eat a tree. Back at the front gate here, we are going to take a look at the Huntresses just running amongst this base. Amongst this base, as we're taking a look at a bunch of bounce damage heading in. Oh, a beautiful, beautiful Scroll of Town Portal trying to prevent any sort of retreat. One Huntress gets taken out. Scroll of Town Portal versus a Scroll of Town Portal. Not quite sure who came out ahead. Rifleman, however, still just now getting that weapon upgraded started. Romantic is leading in the overall population count, 50 compared to 37. Meanwhile, Entangled Gold Mine is nearing completion. Back off to the front here, Beastmaster using this opportunity, knowing that his opponent was halfway across the field to try and clear out an exposed creep camp. We are also looking at a Thunderhawk in the air, but this is not a good spot to be in. Rifleman now chasing after all of these units. Forest Troll, Trapper, and Berserker. This is going to give level 3 to the Alchemist. And what item was picked up? No, Forest Troll Warlord was not yet taken out. Let's take a look at it. It is going to be True Shot Aura on the Archmage, giving bonus damage to the Rifleman. And now that is potentially very scary. The perfect item for this army, as we are now sitting at Tree of Ages. Meanwhile, back across over here, Alchemist looking to finish off the Moonwell and continue to put that pressure. It may turn into a little bit of a base race. Who is going to end up losing first, as we are taking a look at some bounce damage. Huntresses, well, very low on hit points, and also within shooting range here. That could be a problem. The tower, this one guard tower, is going to try to get taken down, but the arcane damage and the piercing damage able to shut it down fairly fast. Meanwhile, Forest Troll Berserker looking to back up again. Scroll of Town Portal being used once more. Gonna go ahead and try and time that. Gonna be able to finish off one Huntress, 2 Huntresses. Oh, 2 Huntresses quickly taken down as that Scroll of Town Portal goes off. But then again, if he is just trading Scrolls of Town Portal and units, He knows that he can come out ahead since he does have this expansion. All right, always one of those situations where if you can win the war of attrition, might as well just try and trade equally, not even efficiently, and you can still come out ahead at times. Beastmaster halfway out across the field. Is he going to try and buy a Scroll of Town Portal from the other side? Archmage has a Scroll of Town Portal here. Alchemist is there as well, and here we go. The Huntress going to go after that priest. That priest, slow poison damage. Is it going to be able to get away? It does not look like it. 1 or 2 more shots should be enough to finish it off, and it looks like it is going to get saved. Able to save himself with a heal at just the right moment, as we are taking a look at a Huntress, well, absorbing damage pretty needlessly at this point. Back across over here, Rifleman trying to focus down this Tree of Life in this very, very narrow spot. Alchemist, Archmage do have Scrolls of Town Portal, as the Riflemen are just pretty much doing target practice at this point. All right, Priest is healing back up at this end, and this is not a good spot at all for Th000. Th000 sitting at 45 supply, 42 supply, losing a bunch of Wisp as well, as the Scroll of Town Portal now coming in. He's able to open the door, but that's pretty much it. Rifleman, Sorceress getting a slow. 1 Huntress will get taken down. A 2nd Huntress could get taken down as well. No, yes. Acid Bomb, and there goes that Huntress, as the Dryad was only able to abolish magic off of 2. Plasmodium, thank you for sticking around. Please remember to like and view on YouTube as well, as we're looking at Romantic now running out across the map. We are at Tree of Ages. Moonwells are fairly full. We are sitting at 1 base here, as the, well, Panda now out onto the field. Drunken Haze, the primary ability. And, well, with Drunken Haze as the first ability, what that means is that the Panda wants to make sure that he reduces the amount of damage all of those Riflemen are doing by making sure that they're essentially missing their target. The Huntresses and the Dryads will have a much easier time staying alive, obviously. Tree of Life needs to get into position. Panda is off over here. Let's see, there's that Drunken Haze. Thank you for the subscription. As we're taking a look at the Ogre Warrior now getting taken down. Panda sitting at level 2 needs a little bit more mana as well. Ogre Magi still alive and well. What item is it going to drop? Perapt of Vitality, giving that Panda better longevity as well. We are looking at, well, multiple expansions all across the map here, and this is maybe difficult for the Archmage to shut down until he gets to level 6. Mass Teleport shuts down mass expansions, as you're able to be pretty much everywhere at once. But right now, things are still going to be a bit difficult. Tree of Life being rebuilt over here on the bottom left. It looks like a water elemental now making its way off to the north. Wisp now making their way off to the north, as we're going to see 1 poor Rifleman getting caught in transit. That's one of the benefits in WarCraft 3. If you're moving towards your opponent and your opponent is away from the base, you can catch units in transit much more easily. Back off to the north here, Dryads units are now starting to push their way through. There is a bunch of repairing going on, but how is that really going to go down? Panda unable to get Breath of Fire off across those units here, as there's just too many guard towers. Massive repairs underway, and still trying to poke its way through. It may get taken down. No, wow, that repair is just so perfect, as it's still staying on like the border of death. Back across over here, there's the Breath of Fire finishing it off. Is the Panda going to be able to get to level 3? Panda sitting at level 2 still. Meanwhile, the main town hall, or the main Tree of Ages, has been taken down. 2-0 upgrades versus what are the upgrades on the Huntresses? The Huntresses are not upgraded at all. Panda is in spot, trying to focus down some of these buildings. Huntresses, or the guard towers, focusing down the Dryads primarily, and still causing a lot of issues. Huntress now back across over here is going to be able to finish off any of those peasants. Peasants now down to 7 hit points, as the Panda now going to be forced to try and retreat. There is the retreat. Panda sitting at level 3. No Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire combination at all. Onto all of those units right there, as the units are now trying to teleport back. 51 supply compared to 28. Entangled Gold Mine here. Entangled Gold Mine here. So, and we already have some production buildings alive and ready, so maybe it is going to be enough. As we're taking a look at the Tree of Life back down to the south. All right, No rejuvenation, no easy heals that I can see. We're going to need to see some Forest Troll Shadow Priest as the Tree of Life is absorbing a large amount of damage. All right, if this game goes long, it is going to definitely favor Th000 at this point, but he is down by 22 supply. Yes, he does have a stronger economy, but it doesn't matter unless you have a very large army. All right, let's take a look at this back across over here. Forest Troll Warlord about to get taken down. Panda is going to stay at level 3. Beastmaster going to stay at level 4. And perhaps pick up a Tome of Intelligence. No, decides that he doesn't want to read a book. What do you all think about the WarCraft 3 Remastered announcement? I believe everyone here is fairly happy. It was probably the big announcement at this year's BlizzCon. Diablo Immortal obviously fell flat, as we're looking at the Tree of Life right here just being target practice. And right now, Beastmaster making its way off to the north, 32 supply compared to 50 supply here. Guard towers just now being completed. This is absolutely scary. The Panda now trying to make its way over. Does not have that much mana. All the Moonwells here were taken out as the Alchemist now sitting at level 4. Archmage does have a Scroll of Town Portal. Can teleport back if and when the time comes, as we're looking at a new Tree of Life being built down across here. Dryad now pulling back as well. 50 supply compared to 35. Ancient of Lore is going to get destroyed, as we're looking at Entangled Gold Mine, Tree of Life, entangling this gold mine. Wisp will be transferred over there as well, but this one has been cleared up. It is still 2 bases to none at this point, but the army of Romantic, so strong and so durable, is going to cause a lot of problems. New Tree of Life, most likely that is just going to get canceled right there. I would have waited a little while longer, tried to buy a little bit more time, as the Dryads. Panda, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. No, not enough mana at all. Unable to buy a Clarity Potion either. As you take a look, are we going to perhaps see turn around Breath of Fire? No, you are not. There is one Forest Troll Shadow Priest amongst them, and that is pretty much it. 38 supply compared to 50. There is that Breath of Fire, Healing Spray, and the Alchemist with its Healing Spray keeping this army alive and well. Meanwhile, back into the center, more units could still be trained. Moonwell's trying to get added back up. 39 supply over 40 compared to 50 over 66. And this is still not looking good. A bunch of casters now marching out across the map, hoping to finally get to the proper target, as the Breath of Fire trying to finish off one of the Forest Troll Shadow Priests. All right, Forest Troll Shadow Priest now taken down. Panda still in that front line position, trying to finish off some more units. Beastmaster sitting at level 5 here. Is he going to be able to get away? No Staff of Preservation, as the Panda makes its way over. Is it going to try to give that Scroll of Town Portal to the Beastmaster? No, it is not. 48 supply compared to 33. Clarity Potion, no Healing Potion available. Back down to the south, the amount of gold mined by Th000, well, has to be very high at this point. But it doesn't really matter, as the Alchemist is almost at level 5 and the Archmage is already there. Level 2 or level 3 Water Elementals, even with only 825 hit points, able to absorb a lot of damage, as there are not enough Dryads to abolish magic. Guard towers really causing problems here, trying to fight through a narrow walkway with a whole bunch of very high damage static defense in position. All right, Dryads, perhaps it's going to be able to focus down some of these buildings. Beastmaster in a very tough spot here. Guard tower in position. Will it be able to do enough damage to that guard tower here with all of the repairs getting underway? One Dryad getting taken down. Breath of Fire, Beastmaster in that front spot, but that will be the end of that. Th000 leaving the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Romantic actually having the lower score. You can see the total resource score, how much gold was mined, but in the end, it didn't really matter. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.